Hello guys, right, utility box not far off finished. Yes, the bamboo's still got to go around the outside, bit on there and the inside on the roofs to do, and obviously we've got to tidy the doors up. Our main problem at the moment is deciding what sort of water source we're going to have. Now, the cold water's there for the toilet and to the sink, not a problem, and we can pass it on to the shower. What we have a problem with is supplying hot water at the moment. Now, we had some options. One was the camping bag showers. The other option is tankless water heater, which comes with a 12-volt pump, which makes sure you've got enough pressure so you can shower from. Not a bad idea. At the moment, funds don't allow that one. And the other option is to make up our own system of thermal hot water, which is what we've got on the house anyway. Now, to buy one will be quite expensive because you need the heat transfer panels, hot water tank and a cold water tank. Now, this is what we've decided to do. Let me show you. Now, this is the system we have on the roof. Now, this framework we found on the farm when we moved in, and like anything else, I don't throw it away. It sits there for, could be ages, could be a few weeks till I decide what to do with it. That is a bit too big for what I want, but we can put some bars in it and it'll work. That's the main thing. It'll be able to hold that cold water tank nicely, and we've got a good gap in the middle for a hot water tank of some description. That we'll have to find out. Which reminds me, the other day when I was off shopping and doing my recycling, throwing my glass in the bin, I came across that. Big lump of glass stuck next to it. There were actually two, but the other one was so much bigger I couldn't get it in the car. But that will be ideal for making my own heat transfer panel. So far so good, not doing bad. Right, but a friend of mine who knew what I was up to and my needs, knew a man who happened to have a hot water cylinder. Now, the problem with this hot water cylinder is it's an electric one. This is the on-off switch. You can see it's rusty, it's been in someone's field, they took it out. Apparently it worked when they took it out. But yeah, switch has gone rusty, doesn't move. So what I did was I took this off, there we go, undid the wires, and yeah, the switch doesn't want to move. The thermostat switch, it's not as clean as you would think. It is switching off and going round to high heat, which is what this would do. So that's on dead cold, which means that's on dead cold. But while we were this far, I thought I'd have a good look round. And so, undid this, and as you can see, that is so bad. I'll bring this to the camera for you. As you can see, it is so furred up, it's not even worth bothering about. Which brings me back to the system I wanted to do. We've got a cold inlet and the hot outlet. Now, I've checked this. This is technically the bottom of the tank. So you turn it over, and that's how it was sitting. You've got the, well, you won't be able to see it, there's a bracket on the back which fits to the wall. The hot outlet, there's a pipe goes all the way to what is the top of the tank. So this is the theory that I said about with the other thermal system. The heat goes in at the top and comes out at the top. Now, the problem being there's only two outlets. We do, however, have this plate. Now, if this comes off cleanly enough, and I think it will, we'll have 2 points for an outlet and an inlet. So we can make it a 2 inlet, 2 outlet tank and modify it to what we want. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it horizontal. Now, you might say, well, that puts both of these at the bottom. Well, yeah, but we could also argue the fact that if they're both at the bottom, one could be the cold feed to the thermal panel, and the other one could be the cold inlet from the cold tank. So then the two that we put on the panel that's going to go back in here, if we've got pipes coming off of it and arc them up a little bit, they'll take the water from what this will be the top of the tank when it's laying flat on there, which would be ideal because we've got the bracket there for it to sit on, as you can see. So yeah, it's something to look at, but I've got to strip all this down first, get this element off, clean it up. We've got a nice gasket there, in there. So if this panel will work, great. If not, I'm going to have to find myself a nice round panel that I can drill a couple of holes in and get myself some pipe fittings. Right, so we've managed to strip this down, got the gasket and the bits. The only problem is putting two fittings into here is going to be a little bit difficult. So I've had a good look round. I've got a couple of options. I've got an old broken saucepan, going a bit rusty, but the base is perfectly clean, same inside, and it looks about the right size. If you cut just round the outside of the burner plate to go on there. Now the other option we've got is this. So that's going to be my decision of which to make the new plate out of that'll accept the two pipe fittings. We'll think about that one and we'll see how it goes. Meanwhile, I have been working on the cold water tank. So let me show you. Right, here we go. That's the cold water tank that we had. As you can see, it's got a ball cock in it. We've got an outlet with a tap, and that's the inlet. There's an overflow just in case. Hopefully we shouldn't need to use that. We do happen to have this old drum. I don't know if you can see this. There we go. We do have a tap on here with another fitting, and I'm now actually wondering whether I should put two outlets on this. That way I can separate the outlet for the outside sink and the toilet, and have an outlet from here which will go purely to the shower and the hot water tank thermal panel. But we'll see. I'm going to have to think about that. Now we'll show you what we're up to on the roof of the toilet block, utility block. Right, so these are the old borehole poles. Now they're 20 feet long, and you're probably wondering why I'm showing you this. Well, I don't throw anything away, and this is a good reason why. Let me show you. So this is what we've used them for. I've cut 4 lengths, 2 meters long, and the offcuts after that are the 2 in the middle, just to give me a bit of extra support so I can walk on the roof. And that is so I can support and hold the stand that's going to hold the hot water tank and the cold tank on the top. So as you can see, they're going to have a very solid base. We've got the wall at the end, there's a beam running through the middle of the shower block, and then at this end, as you can see by the fittings in there, there's a beam running all the way through the front of the shower block. So all in all, it should be a very sturdy fitting for the water tanks.